Georgia once again playing a role in former President Trump's impeachment trial. The defense pushing back today over a call that he made to Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State here.
House managers have argued the former president primed his supporters to siege the Capitol with false claims about the election results. During the trial, they brought up the secretly recorded phone call where former President Trump can be heard pressuring Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find enough votes for him to win Georgia. Today, Trump's lawyer attacked the interpretation of that call. He argued Mr. Trump was asking why fewer ballots had been rejected compared to previous years.
President Trump wanted the signature verification to be done in public. How can a request for signature verifications to be done in public be a basis for a charge for inciting a riot? With that background, it is clear that President Trump's comments and the use of the word "find" were solely related to his concerns with the inexplicable dramatic drop in Georgia's ballot rejection rates.
But the Secretary of State's office tweeted this afternoon, even during today's remarks, Trump's lawyers exaggerated the number of rejected ballots. The Fulton County DA has opened a criminal investigation into that phone call.